Good afternoon, Central High School. This is your principal, Mr. Green, coming to you with our third and final back to school update or our in-person update. I want to make sure that we're really clear on these items today. My first slide is going to talk about terminology because some of the terms we're using can be a little bit confusing. I want to make sure that we're all on the same page with those terms. The next two slides are for our in-person learners. And then after that, I have two slides for our virtual learners. And so we'll make sure that we understand who all those people are and who's on base for what. So stick with me over the next few minutes here while we explain our schedule for returning back to in-person learning. But first, let's talk about some of our terms, some key terms for success. So when I say the words in-person learner over the next few minutes, that is a student who attends school here in the building at 1130 West Chestnut twice a week. It may be the first 2 days of the week, or it may be the last 2 days of the week, but you come to school 2 days a week. All right. When I say the words virtual learner, that refers to students who never come to the building for class. You always do your classes online, always online. This is where it gets a little bit confusing potentially. I will use the word remote. When I talk about remote learners, these are students who have asynchronous learning 3 days a week. All right. So remote, when you hear me talk about remote, that's not the same as virtual. Remote and virtual are not the same. Remote is for an in-person learner when they're not at school. All right. So we have in-person learners, we have virtual. Then we have remote, that's for our in-person kids who are not at school. And then also for our in-person kids, we have two different groups. We have our black group of students and our gold group of students. Black group students, last names are A through K. You're going to come to school on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you are remote. All right. Then we have our gold group of students. Their last names start with L through Z. You come to school on Thursday and Friday. And then you are remote Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of each week. So make sure you understand how all that works. We have in-person and virtual, two different groups. Then our in-person students can be remote or in-person. And then also our in-person kids are either in the black group or the gold group. So I want to make sure we're clear on those terms before we dive in a little bit deeper into our schedule. This graphic kind of shows you a little bit about what the month of April is going to look like. I know it's a lot of information, but if you just take a minute and look at it, it'll make a little bit of sense to you. So Monday, April the 5th, the black group kids are in person, while gold group kids are remote. And that's the way it is for Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, all of our in-person kids only are remote. Now, Wednesday, it says remote, but our virtual kids, we have something planned for you on Wednesdays, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. But this is only for this slide right here is only for our in-person kids. Okay, this is only for in-person kids. And this shows you if you're black in a black group, that shows you when you come to school. And then if you're a gold group, it shows you when to come to school. Now, my camera shot here is hiding something, and that is down here on April 30th. You can see here there's no school on that day. So on that Friday, gold group kids don't come to school on that Friday. And then also you'll see on that Wednesday of that last week of April, that's April the 28th, you'll see there where we kind of shifted that whole week on account of Oaks, right? So Wednesday is not a remote day. Wednesday is going to be gold in person, and Thursday is gold in person. All right, so there'll be a lot of reminders on that, but I want to kind of give you a heads up that that's what we have coming up. Now let's talk about our in-person schedule and what that looks like. So now you know if you're black group, you know if you're gold group, you know if you're in-person or virtual, you know all that. If you're an in-person student, this is what your day is going to look like when you come. On first period, we're going to run an hour and 17 minutes from 7:40 to 8:57. Then after that, we get an 8-minute class change, and then we're going to go to our study skills class, and we will tell you where that is. That's going to vary based on your last name, but don't you have to worry about that. You will know where to go for study skills when you get here in the building. That's going to give you an hour every day from 9:05 to 10:05 to work on, some work that you need to get caught up on. Just some dedicated time for you to get focused and get down to business without any interruption, distractions, or maybe there's some work that you missed from a month ago. Well, you need to do that work during that time and get caught up during that time. Also, during that time, your teachers will be teaching the virtual kids while you're in study skills. All right, so it's important that you understand the function of that time period. It's for you, and it's for our teachers, and it's for our virtual kids. So that's a beneficial time for all of us. After that 1 hour time, we get an 8-minute class change. We go to second period, we go to third period. During that third period, you will have one of 3 lunch periods during that time. And then we will go down to our fourth period class after that, and we're done at 2:20. So again, I want to make sure we're clear on who our black group students are, who our gold group students are, when you come to school. And this is, again, for the month of April. This shows you the whole month. When you're remote versus when you're in person. And then we come down here to what your daily schedule is going to look like. Now, for our virtual kids, everything I've said so far has been for really for our in-person. Now, for virtual, if you're virtual, this is for you. So listen up very carefully. If you're virtual, you remember when I told the in-person kids they have the study skills time? Your school day starts at 9:05. If you're virtual, your school day starts at 9:05. At 9:05, you're going to have on Monday, April 5th, you're going to have your 1A class. At 30 minutes later, at 9:35, you're going to have your 1B class. So you see how on Monday, see right here on Monday, April the 5th, we go 1A, 1B during that slot of time. And then if you go to Tuesday, same slot of time, you see 2A, 2B. So you have to make sure you're logged on and ready to switch over to those classes on each of those respective days. When we get down here to Wednesday, of each of the first 3 weeks on that Wednesday, you see you're going to get all 8 classes. Now, we didn't really want to do that. However, the state guidance says that if you're virtual, you have to see your teacher twice a week. So this is the only way we could fit it, keep your schedule the same without changing your teachers and changing your schedule, and allow you to still see your teachers twice a week. So if you notice, for example, virtual kids, you see your 1A teacher on Monday, then you see them again on Wednesday. You see your 3A teacher on Thursday, but you also see them on Wednesday. And so you'll see your virtual kids, you'll see your teachers twice in 1 week. Virtual students, you will see your teachers twice in 1 week. And it's really important that you follow that schedule. Now, on Wednesday, that looks like a crazy schedule. How am I going to see all 8 classes? What kind of schedule are we going to follow on that? Well, let's talk about that. And also, by the way, before we look at the Wednesday schedule, look down here, guys, at April 26th. You see we deviate that last week in April. We deviate right there, and we say we're going to do our typical 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, that whole thing right there that week. And then if you notice, I'm going to move my camera out of the way. There's no school again. All right, so no school for you guys either, virtual kids, on that last Friday. So you're saying, how am I going to get all 8 classes in one school day? Well, let's take a look at that schedule. And again, this is only for virtual kids. So if you're an in-person kid still listening, then this does not apply to you. This is only for our virtual kids. So here's your schedule if you're virtual and only on Wednesday. So be clear here, only virtual kids and only on Wednesday. You will log on to see your first period teacher for 40 minutes at 8. You get a 10-minute break. Then you'll see your 1B teacher. You get a 10-minute break, 2A for 40 minutes, 10-minute break, 2B for 40 minutes. And after that starts our lunch period. Now, we did 1A, 2A, 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B together in the morning, primarily for our seniors who have to co-op. So this still allows our seniors who have co-op opportunities to still take care of their morning classes, and then you can still co-op in the afternoon. We come back at 11:50, and you can see how that schedule runs for the rest of the day. So I know that's a lot of information to take in about the schedule. Just to do a kind of, and again, we're going to send out the slide deck so you can kind of look at it on your own. But this is our in-person kiddos and what this looks like. And here's your daily schedule and what your day is going to look like inside the day. So there's your schedule for the month, when to come, based on what your last name is. So again, let's look at this. If my last name's Green, I'm a black group kid and I'm coming in person on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm remote. If my last name's Williams, I come to school on Thursday, Friday, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm remote. Okay, so make sure we understand that. In-person kids, here's your monthly kind of outlook, and then your daily schedule. Virtual kids, here's your monthly outlook and what classes you need to report to at what time. Here's your monthly outlook, virtual kids. And then this is your daily for Wednesday only for virtual kids. Now, I know that's a lot of information. I gave you a lot of info on Monday, gave you a lot of info Tuesday, and then here's more info today on Wednesday. What we have to do is make sure, guys, that you're crystal clear on what's going to happen, not this coming week, because next week's spring break, but the week after that, okay? If you're still unclear on any of these items, please join us for our parent forum tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. And again, when we send out the slide deck, you'll have access to this Zoom link. We'll probably get Ms. Shay Thomas or Dr. King to email it out one more time in case you have questions. 6 o'clock will be for in-person learners. 7 o'clock will be for our virtual learners. Now, if you can't make those, we will record those sessions and then publish them to our YouTube page so that you can see that if you can't make any of those sessions. All right. And then as always, guys, like if you still can't make any of those and you still have questions, just shoot us an email or call us and we'll help you out. We'll find out everything you need to know. All right, guys, that concludes today's in-person keys to success. Hope this has been helpful for you. As always, it's important to remember life is all about choices. Make great choices today.